They say money can buy everything, but what happens when money fails to buy love, care, and humanity? This is the story of a lonely little girl, the daughter of one of the richest CEOs in the city, who fell sick in a world too busy to notice her. Doctors, staff, even her father's empire seemed blind to her pain. But fate had other plans, because when no one cared, a struggling single dad, working late-night delivery shifts just to feed his own child, became the unexpected angel who carried her in his arms to life and love. Stay with me till the end, because what began as a chance encounter in a dark hospital corridor turned into a journey of healing, forgiveness, and a love story no one saw coming. Sophia, just 10 years old, sat by the large glass windows of her mansion bedroom. Outside, the world sparkled, cars, lights, and tall buildings, but inside, her small body shook with fever. She pressed her palm to her forehead, sweat gathering, but when she rang the bell for the house staff, no one came. Everyone was busy, rushing around with business orders, schedules, and the CEO's next grand meeting. She was invisible in her own home. Her father, Daniel Sterling, one of the most powerful businessmen in the city, was a man people feared and respected. But for Sophia, he was simply absent. Work consumed him, his empire came first, and though he claimed he loved his daughter, he never noticed how pale her cheeks had grown or how her small hands trembled when she tried to hold a spoon. He believed paying for the best staff, doctors on call, and a grand mansion was enough. But Sophia didn't want riches, she wanted care, warmth, and someone to notice she was hurting. That evening, as the fever spiked, Sophia tried to call the doctor. No one answered. The butler shrugged, saying, "Sir is busy, and the hospital requires appointments." Tears filled her eyes. For the first time, she realized money couldn't buy comfort when the people around you didn't have hearts. Across town, in a cramped rented apartment, another father was fighting his own battles. Michael, a single dad, worked nights as a food delivery rider. His daughter, Lily, only 7, waited each evening for him with a small plate of reheated food. He had no mansion, no servants, no luxury. But what he gave her was what Sophia longed for: love, laughter, bedtime hugs, and someone who truly cared. It was on one of those nights, as Michael rushed to complete his deliveries, that their worlds collided. He had an order from the Sterling mansion. When he reached the gates, no one cared to greet him properly. He was just another delivery guy, unseen, unimportant. But as he waited, he heard a faint, weak voice from the upstairs window. "Help me, please." Michael froze. His eyes lifted, and there behind the glass was a little girl, her face pale, tears on her cheeks. Something in him couldn't ignore it. He knew that voice. It was the same tone Lily used when she was sick. A cry no father could ignore. When the staff brushed it off, "She'll be fine, her father knows best." Michael's heart raced. He couldn't walk away. With determination burning in his chest, he rushed inside, scooped the burning hot, trembling Sophia into his arms, and whispered gently, "Don't worry, sweetheart. I've got you. You're not alone anymore." And in that moment, the life of a powerful CEO's neglected daughter rested in the arms of a poor delivery dad who cared more than all the wealth in the world. Chapter 2, Carried to Life. Carried to love. Michael didn't wait for permission. Against protests from the staff, he carried Sophia out the grand mansion doors, his delivery bag still strapped to his back. His motorcycle was all he had, and on it he placed her carefully. Her tiny arms clung to him in fear, but she felt something new: safety. The night air was cold, but his warmth wrapped around her. At the hospital, the receptionist hesitated. "She needs her guardian's approval. We can't just..." Michael slammed his hand on the counter, his voice shaking. "She'll die if you don't help her now." Something in his eyes, a desperate father's fire, made the nurse nod and rush her in. As Sophia was taken to the emergency room, Michael sat in the waiting area, sweating, heart racing. He wasn't her father, not even family. But he had done what no one else dared to. He stayed. Hours later, Daniel Sterling stormed into the hospital furious. His men had called him. "Who touched my daughter? Who dared?" he roared. But when he pushed open the door, what he saw silenced him. Sophia was asleep, her fever breaking. Beside her sat Michael, holding her hand gently, humming a lullaby like he would for Lily. Daniel's jaw tightened. For the first time, he saw his daughter not as the heir to his empire, but as a fragile child desperate for love, and the man who gave it wasn't him. Days passed. Sophia's condition improved, but she refused to let Michael leave her side. She clung to him, smiling in ways she never had at home. Daniel, watching from the doorway, felt guilt clawing at him. He had built skyscrapers but failed to build a bond with his own daughter. He had all the money in the world but lacked the one thing Michael had in abundance: heart. Slowly, respect grew between the two men. Daniel asked Michael about his life, his struggles, his little Lily, and when he saw the way Michael balanced hardship with love, something inside Daniel cracked open. He realized that power wasn't in wealth, but in presence. The story didn't end there. Over time, Daniel softened. He invited Michael and Lily into their lives more often, at first out of gratitude, then out of genuine affection. Sophia, once lonely, now had both a father trying to change and a second father figure who had taught them all what love meant. And one evening, as the children played in the garden, Daniel turned to Michael. "You saved her life. But more than that, you showed me how to be a father. Maybe we're meant to be more than strangers." Love didn't come like a thunderstorm. It grew quietly, like sunlight after a long night. Daniel and Michael, two different worlds, found a bond that healed not just Sophia, but themselves too. From neglect to care, from loneliness to love, the story of one little girl brought hearts together that money never could. And so, when no one cared, it was the most unexpected man, a struggling single dad, who carried the CEO's daughter to life. Sometimes love isn't found in wealth, titles, or power. It's found in the simplest acts of humanity, in the arms that hold you when you're weak, and in the hearts willing to stay when the world turns away.